Welcome, gentlemen, up on the stage. So good to have both of you here.
Thank you so much.
And I have to start, Nazar. Thomson Reuters acquired Pagero for $800 million just this year. What was the feeling among the staff, and what is it, in your understanding, the value for the clients that will enjoy from this integration?
It was a fantastic feeling. I mean, we've been working very hard to establish ourselves as a leader in the industry, and obviously the three big companies competing to have Pagero as a part of their organization was a great success for us. And now we are on this new journey, and we hope to be able to deliver even greater value to our clients, our partners globally, by connecting all the fantastic compliance applications that Thomson Reuters have into our smart business network.
Nice, and it might have been on the bucket list for Pagero, but I'm interested to know what's your top list, or what's your top thing on your personal bucket list?
It is to go to Patagonia one day. It's been a childhood dream, and I have failed twice to go there, even though I had tickets. Different stories, different circumstances. Happy to share more details about it at the after work, but I hope third is the charm and I'll get to Patagonia.
Nice, I'll cross my fingers for you, and I'm sure you will get there too. Turning to you, Jonas, as the head of the CFO office at Ericsson, what are the main tasks on your table for 2024?
Transformation and digitalization. These are the main two. Not only for finance, but trying to influence the group in terms of the necessary transformation activities that we need to start up.
And as for you, you have worked and lived both in Asia and in Africa earlier. Has there been any cultural aspects from either Asia or Africa which you've implemented to your personal or work life being back in Scandinavia?
That's a good question. I think the beauty of working for Ericsson, we are very, very diverse company with so many different cultures, and I've had the opportunity to travel around a lot. So I think what you bring is a little bit of I think humanness, and also you realize how equal we are in many aspects. The differences are not so big. I think you have to look at what unites us and what makes us more equal. I think that's what I bring with me.
A very good thing, a good remark there. And I would also like to remind you that there are 2 deep dives starting at 2 o'clock. If you're interested in ERP and data management, and 2:15 if you're interested in best practice month and close solution. And with that said, let's dive right into the sessions with you. And I would like to know, Jonas, in what ways do regulatory changes and technology advancements influence your strategy for finance transformation?
Talking about the technology part, I mean, we are a technology company, so of course we are very close to technology, and we really want to be in the forefront. But and I think we now the big hype is AI, of course. But in that journey, we shouldn't forget that it's a combination of processes, technology, and data. So if you don't bring these three together, you won't get what you expect. So I think what we try to do is create a balance between the three. And we shouldn't forget the most important part, which is the people side. So by bringing these three plus people together, I think that has always been the foundation in our journey in terms of the finance strategies.
And Nazar, I'm curious, how do you anticipate the upcoming e-invoicing regulations impact finance transforming schemes going ahead?
The way we see, especially when dealing with multinational clients, and the previous presenter was talking a lot about, for instance, AP automation, AR automation projects, and historically multinationals have approached it from important but pure automation perspective from business efficiencies, and now it is becoming much more important to take into account the regulatory aspects. And what I mean by that, typically, tax or real-time controls, they have been handled by the tax teams and haven't crossed that much with the finance function. However, as we see regulations evolving, starting in Latin America, but now spreading much more into Europe, Asia Pacific, tax administrations are introducing real-time controls. So businesses need to make sure that the data quality is there from day one, because many times the tax authorities will have the data quicker than the businesses. And so throughout the finance transformation journey, it is becoming super important at this point to take the compliance aspects into account, and sometimes how painful it might feel, but even kill your baby, maybe previous decisions that have been made a couple of years ago in the light of the new reality.
Just to chip in, I think you mentioned several times data and data quality, because the magnitude of requirements that will come will be so massive. So if you try to do it manually, you will be hopelessly behind. So data is the key, because then you can apply technology to help you.
And Jonas, what is the process behind setting the grand vision of transformation into actionable projects and initiatives?
Well, I don't know, but for us, at least, we have always had a very strategic approach in terms of what we want finance and how finance should develop. So we have a regular kind of 2-year ahead vision of where we want to go with an annual update. And I think we really are clear on the vision, where we're heading, clear line of sight to, of course, the overall business objectives. Then we take the finance part and see what are the components, what is our kind of vision, mission, of course, and the focus areas. And from the focus areas, we really bring it down all the way to concrete, actionable items, whether that's driven in the line or in projects. And we have one governance body, which is the Global Finance Leadership Team, that is overlooking the whole process and are also very engaged from day one. So I think we have a good structure where we look from the big outside in all the way into actionable items. We keep it together, relatively small team that makes it actionable and doable, and we keep control over the whole chain and the whole process, you could say.
And what departments are usually involved or should be involved when a large company is going for a transformation journey? Is there any department that's most effective to drive these type of projects?
From our perspective, initially, a couple of years ago, before the regulations started booming, it was very much the finance teams who have been overseeing this process. But now, with the change in trends, we are at least working more and more with the tax teams, who have sometimes involuntarily got tasked into looking into this real-time transaction controls imposed by the tax administrations. They try to do as good job as possible, being supported by the IT teams. Is that the way forward? From our perspective, or from my personal perspective, probably not. In best cases, we have seen how it's implemented and operated. Multinationals, they typically would have a digital transformation team, which is overseeing different functions, different departments. They collect requirements from all of them to implement them in the best possible way. So there is nothing that falls between the chairs and being lost. And so this is the most successful examples we've seen, but it has taken these companies several years of trial and error before they came to this stage. So until that moment, we see still the CFO function and the financial team, if they are involved, if they are putting the highest attention to compliance aspects of the finance transformation journey, that is in the interim the most successful approach we've seen.
I mean, for our side, I think we maybe don't talk so much about departments, more capabilities and competencies. So we are just embarking into a rather significant change in our go-to-market model, and as such, we have a small kind of transformation team, 5-6 people, with great capabilities to overlook the totality, and then we engage with subject matters, tax, for instance. So they are very early involved now in transforming the new business models. So it's more capabilities than departments, I would say, going forward.
Good point there. And as a compliance guru, Nazar, can you make a short intro about VIDA or VIDA?
That was a strong word, guru, but thank you for that. Very quick. So there is a new regulation framework coming into play in the European Union, VIDA, or VAT in the digital age. It was initially proposed by the Commission in December of 2022, and it's up for negotiations since then. In a nutshell, it consists of 3 components. The first one will solely target platform economy, so Meta's, Amazon's, Bookings of this world. The second component will be simplification measures with a single VAT registration across the whole European Union. And there is the third aspect, which will have significant impact on the finance processes, and that is introduction of electronic invoicing and digital real-time reporting. And from the third component, what is the most important takeaway for companies is to realize that structured XML-based invoice is set to become the norm in the European Union. So most probably, starting from 2025, there will be a gradual introduction with paper PDF invoices phased out. Today, for instance, if you are a supplier and you would like to send an electronic invoice to your buyer, you need to have their approval beforehand. Under the new VIDA framework, it will not be required anymore. So sellers will be able to send electronic invoices much easier. And then intra-community e-invoicing and real-time reporting will become mandatory for all companies, most probably without any size limitations. And the implication for the domestic framework will be that today, member states, they need to ask a permission from the Commission to mandate e-invoicing inside of the country. And under the new framework, this will no longer be required. So it is quite a significant transformation that is, ahead of not only multinational, but actually micro businesses in the EU.
Mm-hmm. And Jonas, I would love if you could share any predictions or insights on the next big shifts in the finance functions that CFO should start preparing for now.
That's a good question. I wish I really knew, but I think from our perspective, I mean, we think when we talk about closing and audit and these processes, we think that, again, coming back to getting control over your enterprise data, not only financial data, both compliance data and also ESG data. With a controlled data platform, you can start to predict your closings, and that will totally change the perspective on waiting for a closing and you have a fast closing because you would already know the numbers, and the audit process will be more of a kind of confirmation of what you already know. So I think for us it's really about getting the control over all these 3 data sets, if you like, and then apply technology on to get predictions right. That's what I think we one of the key things for us.
Perfect. Thank you so much, both Nazar and Jonas, for being here, sharing your knowledge and insights. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.